Hello, 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 thank you so much for joining me once again. My name is still Brian, this is still my channel, I think, and today we are back. Specifically, I am back. Now, if you are a regular fan of my channel, you may be asking, Brian, why are you back right now? You haven't done anything in a long time. What's been going on? So, what I have been doing. I switched apartments, first of all, which is why new background, I don't have the same kind of coherent, setting here. But I also kind of figured at a certain point, like, it's a lot of time to produce these videos, a lot of effort to, like, get new games to research and all that, and at a certain point, I just kind of said to myself, like, it felt like a little bit more effort than it was worth, but I am also a completionist, or if not a completionist, at least someone who prefers a thorough game experience. So what I am doing today, making sure, yes, I can still hear everything, that is wonderful. What I'm doing today, Scarlet Hollow, one of my favorite games that I've played on this channel, has, I think just last Friday, released its most recent, not chapter, because apparently they're following like a Stranger Things type release model now. It's like, we'll release part of a chapter on this date and another part on this date. But they released the first half of what I understand of chapter 5. So I figured it made sense to kind of go back in, explore, see what the first half has to offer, and then I believe, at least my goal is to actually publish this video to coincide with the release of the second half of chapter 5, which should be Friday, the February 20th, 2026. So hopefully I can line it up to match that, and then I can record the other half, release that a little bit later. Anyway, that is kind of where we are for backstory right now. I may need to move my face around on my screen for a moment because I don't, sometimes I tried to remember not to block the text boxes or whatever. Sometimes, friends, I do not. So, or at least I don't remember. So, I'm going to try to remember it this time. Okay, hold on. I need to see if there's before you get too far, telltales smell the dog tags. It's the militia. They've poured out the woods before you're on the road. Let's go ahead and load that for a moment, because I do not quite remember where we were here. Oh, I think I went back at a certain point. Okay, so, oh my god, last recording was May 10th of last year? Jeez, it has been a while. Okay, so I believe I went back to check on something or play with some dialogue options, but this was where we were last we left off. So episode 5 finally awaits. I have saved the game, awesome. Don't need to join the Discord, don't need to slay the princess. But if you haven't watched me play it, it is also on my channel somewhere. It is also a very good game. Fully would recommend checking that out once we're done here. Yes, I would need to see a recap, considering that I have not played this game in the last 8-ish months. So yes, full recap, tell me everything. Alright, funeral of Pearl and Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. We can remember that we had, we went on the bus over there, we found some nuts. Hold on, let me just double check, make sure that my face is on the right corner of the screen. It is, so you can see all of the dialogue. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. So what do you say, want to tag along? Hold the camera for me while I narrate against the darkening sky, that sort of thing? You'll eat those words when I come carrying a mountain lion corpse out of those woods at dawn. Sorry, the other kind of consequence of not playing this game in, 2/3 of a year roughly is I do not remember most of my voices that I gave these characters. I don't think Duke lasted very long. A single deer remains behind, staring down the beam of Stella's flashlight while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness. Gretchen is the dog. One of the abilities we chose was the ability to speak to animals, because I cannot not speak to animals when given the opportunity. Can you hear the sweet whispers of new growth? Duke grapples with the thing as it grabs at his shotgun, pushing the barrel out of the way as it grasps for Birdie with oddly jointed limbs, while Stella stares in shocked silence as it paused, watching as the other creature attempts to wrestle Gretchen into the darkness, her desperate cries going unheeded. And obviously, we chose to save the dog, because anytime I can save the dog over saving a human, I am going to do so. You die for Gretchen, attempting to snatch her away from the thing's misshapen hands. Oh, Snow and Nerd and my hero! You manage to grab her, but the creature isn't deterred. It rears back on its hind legs, its mouth opening, whispered tones sliding out alongside something sharp and unnatural. But then there's the deafening blast of Duke's shotgun, and suddenly, it is gone. Oh my god! Oh my god, what do we do? Stella, keep an eye on him for us. Make sure he doesn't get into any more trouble. Oh, sorry, was that the old guy? Franklin might be the old guy. Make sure he doesn't get into any more trouble. Welcome home. My grandmother used to talk about pale creatures called ditchlings. She always said they were a terrible omen, a sign of suffering to come. And here we are. Well, you're welcome to stay the night if you want. From now on, you're back at the estate by bedtime. No more impromptu sleepovers. Just don't make yourself a burden, alright? I have a lot to do today. Oh, are we talking about a certain young man who may or may not have caught the boss's eye? That Sam Wayne fellow, wasn't it? Whatever. If anyone asks, we never talked. Got it? I don't want to disappear, too. I am the only person in this town who truly cares about your safety. Don't forget that. Even if it's already too late to stop what's gonna happen. So I don't think we know much about Wayne, still. Whatever you're looking for, you're barking up the wrong tree, so just go someplace else before, and obviously barking is, yeah. We're not Gretchen. We're friends with Gretchen, but we're not barking that way. Tabitha once again trails off. Both she and Stella have noticed the girl with a dark braid and glasses sneaking along the ridge. It's Rosalina! She's headed up the hill! And into the galaxy. She went in? Does Stella have no sense of self-preservation? My dad says her house is haunted. But she's interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. 3 of them are gone. There's something in the darkness before you that's much louder, though you don't hear it. But you can feel it in your chest, like the deep growl of a predator. What do you think you're doing? Get away from there! Your cousin dives towards you, but not before the light from your phone illuminates the chamber. Snow and Ernie! Snow and Ernie, you alright? Oh my gosh, I barely remember that little bit of art there. That was scary. Wait! Becca and Alexis are still down there. You can't leave them here. I know which way they were going. They'll listen to you this time, I promise. So, of course, we had to go save them. Your surroundings quake as the mine collapses around you. And she broke her leg, which, oh well. Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the dark inner. Not trying to, trivialize a, young girl's broken leg, but, she was the one who pressured us to go save the others so she can deal with it. As you're ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the two of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh, gosh. I don't even remember my voice for her. Oh, Snow and Nerdy, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I mean, I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now, and then I heard it again. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry you got caught up in that. I'll be praying for Oscar and poor little Rosalina. They're such sweethearts. Couldn't have happened to nicer people. Morning. Is the new blend ready? Of course. Snow and Ernie, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will be just a minute.
Oh, excuse me? Wait, you're Snow and Nerdy, aren't you? My name is Bo. I'm Duke's boy. It's a pleasure to meet you. The policeman told me you saw what happened to my daddy.
And with that, breakfast is served. He's a dog. Just want to be clear about that fact. She's a dog too, but we knew that. But we're just discovering that he's a dog. He's also the mayor, which I think is a little bit more of a red flag there, but, you know, wanted to point out the fact that he's a dog first. You can tell the dog is the mayor. See, that's her second observation. From his little sash and fancy top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to, and since we can talk to dogs, we remember nothing about what happened. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're intercepted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. Sounds like old Gretchen and the mayor may have some unresolved issues, wouldn't you say? I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Snowy Nerdy? Everyone's been buzzing about you. I'm so sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. If you'd ever like to discuss your beliefs, my door is always open. The basement is what you might expect from out of a tortured artist. So we had to do something with the pastor and like stopping some ditchlings or some kind of creatures from killing somebody or something. I don't remember, but apparently it wasn't enough, worth remembering. The basement is... This guy is definitely worth remembering, and if you don't remember him, you'll see why in a moment. The basement is what you might expect out of a tortured artist who spends all of his time confined to a studio. Discarded canvases line its edges, while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in the corners of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. Anyways, make yourselves comfortable. You'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately. Haven't been cleaning much. Dinner's already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Stella's nervously talkative, and Reese is suddenly quite intense, his shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to his. Dr. Kelly, she's a doctor, eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. So, we were talking about maybe watching a movie sometime this week while Snowy Nerdy's still in town. We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle a movie, Doc. Yeah, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. You're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like that's ever gonna change. I'm sick every day, and I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend the last few miserable years of my life holed up in the basement alone just because seeing my friends have been deemed too strenuous. I'm an adult, for God's sake. I can't believe I have to ask for permission from my mom just to have friends over. Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try and fix. Silence as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. Reese? Oh, by the way, I don't know if they're going to talk about this, but there's been some kind of like freeze-on, fainting sensation where it's like there's certain locations of intense evil. And I am not just talking about the Republican National Convention. I am talking about the little like isolated pockets where sometimes like I'll go and get like so overwhelmed by the vibe that I will pass out. So like the mine was one of them, and that's why Stella was like hunched over me trying to wake me up. Then there was like the medicine cabinet or like one of the bathrooms in her house. That was also one of those places. I don't know if we'll have that in the recap. Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Hey, you're just in time. Rosalina's situated in the back room. Alexis is gonna keep her company while we hopefully get this all sorted out. Right, so we had a ghost trial. I remember that. Hey, I hope I'm not too late. Have I missed any creepy paranormal stuff? Oscar startles as the door swings open. Hold it! You're not taking my cousin along on any more of your little hijinks, spell weirdly, without me! Whoa! I know people that spell woe like that more and more, but I just cannot condone it.
This is where I've seen it. It appears on top of the stain.
Ah, there's the trapdoor. Stella pulls back the carpet, revealing a hatch, the floor around it stained in reddish brown. I'm going for it. Ah, here we go. And for whatever... Right, everybody else got possessed, but Tabitha and I, by virtue of being the only members of this particular family in the group, were somehow not possessed.
Wait, do you hear music?
Movement stirs as a figure cloaked in shadows rises to attention.
Stella? There you are.
It's also interesting because, like, that's a little door in itself, so it's like, he wasn't in this reality. It's like almost a movie set, it seems.
I would have found you sooner, but the resident clearly doesn't want me here. It doesn't seem to have the same issue with these miserable little parasites. Bottom feeders always manage to slip through the cracks, don't they? The sins of the father.
What was Rosalina's voice? She was the kid, right? Are to be laid upon the children.
Bullshit!
You and Tabitha come to a basement after I do a splendid bit of lawyering on my part, if I don't mind saying so myself. Hopefully you're familiar with the previous episodes in this series, because I do not remember any of the details, but I know I crushed it, because I remember getting an achievement that not a lot of people got. You and Tabitha come to in a basement, a mound of packed dirt in front of you. Your friends are nowhere to be seen, though Sybil remains standing on the stairwell as if she's been patiently waiting for you to get up. Ah, the spirit is gone and the two of you are back, and both of you are whole. I have to admit that this is quite an unexpected outcome. Excellent work, Snowy Nerd. Sorry, I can't talk right now. See you later. She hurries off down the road. Before I go, Sybil places a hand on your arm, holding you back for a moment. I'm sure you have questions after everything you saw tonight, but let's not get into it here. I think everyone could use a little rest and relaxation right now, yourself included. If you swing by the tea room sometime tomorrow, say early afternoon, you and I can have a little chat. I'll see you then, Snowy Nerdy. You don't even notice yourself entering the guest room and falling into bed. Suddenly you're just there, buried under your family's musty covers. You open your eyes. It's a new day. You check your messages. There's nothing from Stella. Right, the last chapter was that she vanished.
Let me get this right. Right, you're trying to report missing pumpkin? Big Betty wasn't just a pumpkin, Sheriff Hugby, sir. She was gonna be a prize winner. Raising her was the last thing me and my daddy did together. She's important to me.
So wait. I forget which one this guy is. He's the old guy.
Sure it was just Julius and not some enterprising bear that got a hold of it? Y'all know Julius thinks that land belongs to him. Probably thought Big Betty was his to take. He ain't coming to his door, so for all I know, he might be on his way to the all the way to the state fair by now without pumpkin. Ain't there something y'all can do about it?
Ah, here's the scene where we saved them from something. So, I remember doing these things, but the order is mixed up in my mind. I'm so glad you came. I've never met anyone else who could hear them. You have no idea how long I thought I must have had some kind of insanity. I even thought at one point that it might have been the Lord himself, talking to me through them. But they never had anything very insightful to say, so I was disavowed of that pretty early on. There have been some particularly nasty rats in the church lately, and she said some things that have led me to believe she might be able to understand them. Alright, and then okay, so we still don't remember exactly what we did. There's a small gathering of workers outside the entrance to the mines, picket signs in hand.
Oh, it's you. Should I go?
Yeah, and try not to get yourself noticed. The instant you're alone, Tabitha rounds on you. She grabs you by the collar, her face close to yours. Eyes full of rage, her words a frustrated hiss. Listen to me, Snowy Nerd. Really? Listen. This isn't some fun little game, okay? This is my life, and if you value yours, you'll keep quiet about what you just saw. I don't care if we're family. I can make the rest of you stay here a living hell if you cross me. You take the tea, sipping it delicately. I don't know how delicious it is. The citrus smell is fleeting, quickly replaced with the earthiness at its core, like you've taken a mouthful of dirt. But the aftertaste combines the two flavors into something soothing and medicinal, and you find yourself feeling more comfortable, your muscles relaxing for the first time in days. Now, on to business. Sybil takes the cup from you, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge. Oh dear, this doesn't bode well. You've got just about every warning sign that can fit in the bottom of a cup. Cross, kettle, hourglass. All of these mean death, misery, difficulty. And your character in the game is gonna have some issues too. And the hourglass ties it all together with definite urgency. It's fair to assume that this all has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something is coming, and whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure. But we may at the very least be able to figure out what it is. And there's a central figure here, a cat, an enemy lurking in plain sight.
This is wild. I had no idea any of this was here. An entire hospital wing rotting away for decades behind some flimsy drywall.
His voice sounds distant. Your sole focus is finding it. Your feet move without prompting, and you stumble down the hallway towards the far wall, barely registering the antique clutter as you stagger past it.
Whoa, you okay?
You don't respond, and you don't bother to retrieve the axe. The wall is rotten, water damage having eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years, the planks nearly reduced to sawdust. You tear into it.
Enemies upstairs. Enemies outside. We're surrounded. Even if I get out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe.
As Reese tears at his clothes, paint bubbles out from the canvases. His ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading yours, crawling up the walls.
Grab my hand. I'll pull you out. Leave us alone!
Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare out into the hallway. Ah, here he comes. Our good friend Reese. I gotta say, over the chapters or whatever, the art has gotten insane. I love it so much. Like, it's so intricate. And that explains why it took, 7 months to release a new chapter. But, God. Anyway.
Is this what you were so afraid of?
Hand over the tranquilizers. This is our shot. You hand Dr. Kelly the tranquilizer darts. So we had the choice to basically let him kill Dr. Kelly or let Dr. Kelly tranquilize him. And as much as Dr. Kelly might be unpleasant, I believe I decided that she did not deserve to die for just trying to protect her son and everyone around him. Anyway, the thing that the text box just said that I forgot to read. She pointed the barrel at her son.
Snowy Nerdy, I thought we were in this together.
You sit on the log beside Stella, who we found. Snowy Nerdy? How did you... You close your eyes, your exhausted body succumbing to sleep almost immediately. As you drift off, you think of Reese, trapped in that tiny windowless room, all his greatest fears realized. His body, no longer his own. But you stopped him from killing Dr. Kelly. The world, at least from now, is protected from him. And then you think of nothing. It's time to continue your journey. Is that it? Oh my gosh, okay. I don't know how long we are into this video, but we're finally getting to the new content. But before we get started, I am going to do something that may or may not be okay for a video game streamer to do, but I don't know who's watching this anyway, so I want to make sure that I am equipped. Because if all of that came as part of the recap, which I admit was the case for, over the case of a full game, the recap is definitely going to be significantly longer than just the last chapter, but I'm glad we did it because I didn't remember anything. That said, if that was the recap, we're going to have a lot more content coming from the actual chapter, so I want to make sure that I'm equipped. I do not have any honey or aloe in this water for my voice, but hopefully I will be okay. It's time to continue your journey. So many options here. Let's wake up. I think that's probably the best call. A lonely piano refrain echoes through your head as you sleep. It feels like it goes on forever, clumsy and uncertain of itself, stopping and starting at random. But as you start to wake up, you realize the music is following you from your dreams, continuing even as your mind reforms itself into something solid and coherent. And when it stops, you can't help but jolt fully awake, your eyes flying open at the sudden realization that you don't feel the ancient mattress beneath you, that you don't smell the now familiar dampness of the covers. You're not in your room. The shock of your surroundings jolts you to full wakefulness, and you quickly get to your feet, stumbling slightly as you realize the floor beneath you is oddly tilted. It's like one of those weird illusion rooms where you don't have a sense of balance. Your barely conscious thoughts desperately claw through your memories of the past day in an attempt to grasp at a where before settling on the only answer that makes sense. You found yourself in some truly neglected part of the estate. What you've seen of the sprawling manor looks lovingly cared for compared to these peeling walls, warped floorboards, and overwhelming, stiflingly stale air. You can feel it coating your lungs in filth with every breath. You must be in the Forbidden Wing, which honestly, based on how much we've screwed over Tabitha, I'm kind of surprised we haven't checked out yet. But now we are. There are two doors out of the barren room. One is a normal doorway leading into what you assume to be a hallway. Did Tabitha kidnap me after I ratted her out to the Union people? I'm sorry, but I will support the workers. Put the communist flag in the background right now. The other is a door that must have once been hidden, though the ruined state of the wallpaper has robbed it of its secrecy. Alright, let's investigate the once hidden door first. There doesn't seem to be a clear way to open it, besides the brass circle where a handle should be. Let's look through the hole, and it's just gonna be that, moment from Saw 2 where there's, a gun on the other side of it that just shoots you through the hole. You lean forward, peering into the narrow opening of what lies behind the door. It's your room! Which means you'd be able to slip right back into the safety of the rest of the house if you could just manage to find the handle. You know what? I was just talking about how I was surprised we hadn't done this yet. Let's continue into the Forbidden Wing. If we get killed, well, we just saved the end of the last chapter, so it won't be that long to get back here. You make your way carefully across the slanted room and deeper into the Forbidden Wing. Besides, I figure, if we're in the Forbidden Wing, there has to be somebody that wants us here. If it's not Tabitha, it's gonna be somebody else. Is Wayne part of the family? I forget. Before you is a long hallway, age-stained curtains fluttering in the breeze, flowing in through cracked glass. Weak sunlight illuminates the dust dancing on the air. An ornate entryway, its door long gone, breaks the monotony of the faded wallpaper, and a staircase looms at the far end. Let's investigate it, because we have the option to. You make your way to the dark doorway in the middle of the corridor. It's a parlor. Of course the Scarlets of old would have had a dedicated space to entertain their guests. It would feel elegant if not for the massive crack that runs the entire length of the floor. The air in here stinks of mildew. You can see why Tabitha doesn't want you exploring these rooms, because she is definitely concerned with mildew as her #1 priority. There's a large painting on the far end of the room. From a distance, it looks like it might depict the town. Something else catches your eye too. A bookshelf, or rather what's left of a bookshelf, hanging by a single rusted hinge. Secret tunnel! Secret tunnel! Its sagging shelves reveal some sunless space beyond, once hidden, now exposed by the rot of this house. I have the option to explore both, so let's start with the painting. The painting highlights a number of old buildings and locales, many of which you've already visited. Town hall, the estate, the mines, and the clinic, still called a hospital at the time of this painting. The church. And then there's somewhere you've yet to see, the historical Callaway Tremaine homesteads. The faded bronze plaque beneath reads, in commemoration of Enoch Scarlet, head of the Scarlet Hollow Landmark Revitalization Project, let the past never be forgotten. Alright, let's explore the bookshelf space. You cross the parlor, testing each careful step along the way, and duck between the collapsed shelves of the old bookshelf. The space is dark. It features barely illuminated by the faint light trickling in through the myriad of cracks and holes in the walls. The wallpaper, a deep, exquisite red, always the most settling type of color of wallpaper, adds a blood-like glow to the dimness. Oh, wait a second. This is just, what's that Poe story? It's The Mask of the Red Death. But maybe not the best story to base a interior design setting on. Anyway, the walls are lined with ornate display cabinets, some empty, some still presenting their antique treasures. Nestled between the cabinets, a single tall bookshelf remains standing, with occupants dusty but mostly intact. Oh, that's what the mildew is. It's just the Red Death. Okay. But all of these are ornamental details. Your focus is drawn to an expensive-looking antique desk in the center of the room. Well, one precedent that I set in my previous playthroughs is when I have an option that's a result of one of the choices I took at the start of the game, I'm going to take that option. So let's examine the bookshelf. Maybe the collection of literature can help you learn about this room's occupant. You approach the shelf, your eager eyes poring over titles for anything that seems to stand out. The upper shelves are mostly classic fiction. Moby Dick, Shakespeare, various Dickens novels, all my mortal enemies, nothing that sounds out as particularly interesting. The bottom shelf seems to be home to reference books, heavy volumes of long outdated construction law, treatises on various aspects of the coal industry. But there's also a book on city planning that stands out to you. The spine is marked with a dot. You pull it out, the shelves above shifting precariously as if the book held some load-bearing purpose, and you get crushed to death by the books. Oh. Ooh! The instant you crack its spine, a slip of paper falls out, ancient and fragile and yellowed with age. It's some kind of map. And judging by the highlighted landmarks, it's a map of Scarlet Hollow. Town Hall, the old hospital, the mines, all places where stone carvings have been buried. Basically all the example places that the previous text box like 2 minutes ago mentioned. There's one more circle area as well, what looks to be a patch of farmland. I wonder if that has to do with the Callaway Tremaine homestead or whatever that was, but I don't know what makes me believe that. You haven't paid this location a visit yet, but judging by the way the other buildings have had their ways of drawing you in, it's probably only a matter of time. Carefully fold the map and shove it into a pocket. Let's just examine the desk while we're here. Open the top drawer. Top drawer mostly contains old-timey letter-writing materials, complete with a fancy dagger-shaped letter opener and a wax stamping kit emblazoned with the letters, the initials ES, which must be Enoch Scarlet. Underneath, you find a pile of crumbling financial documents. Scrawled in neat cursive in every spot that needed a signature is the name Enoch Scarlet. I felt so smart for about 5 seconds. This must be his desk, meaning that this must also be his study. And at the very bottom of the drawer, you're surprised to find a face you recognize staring back up at you. An antique photograph of a young man, his blonde hair nearly white against the dark sepia background. It's Teddy. He looks almost exactly the same as he did in your vision. Almost. There's a carefree look in his eye that seemed to have faded by the time he found his way to that hospital bed. Alright, I'll close that drawer and open up the other one. The bottom drawer offers some resistance as you try to pull it out. It seems that it was locked, though the bit of metal attempting to hold it shut seems to have rusted to the point of uselessness years ago. It gives in with a sharp tug, rotting wood splintering softly somewhere within the century-old desk. Inside you find a strange collection of glass vials. Their surfaces are clouded over, but you can make out what seems to be paper preserved somehow inside the containers, a hint of writing visible at the edges. Let's open the vials, why not? You reach for one of them, twisting the cork. It unseals with a pop, releasing a smell like an old pond, like decaying leaves and damp earth. You tug at the corner of the slip of paper, and it unfurls, the writing across its surface as crisp and clear as if it had just been written. To Miss Maeve, I know it is... Sorry, let's go ahead and I'm gonna try to read this in a very, 19th century Civil War, aesthetic. To Miss Maeve, I know it has been several years since my last visit, but I do hope you remember the young lad who used to find himself at your doorstep more than you probably would have liked. I write you now with the utmost urgency. I'm not sure if news has yet reached you regarding what transpired just yesterday. Many lives were lost. The town is in a frenzy. I hope to mitigate some of the damage that has been done, and thus must speak with you at once.
I attempted the journey to your place of residence, but was unable to locate it. You once told me of another way to reach you, and though it seems nothing but a half-remembered fantasy, I'm acting in desperation. I can only hope this letter finds its way to you, as you once said it would in my hour of need. I must meet with you at your soonest convenience. Sincerely, yes. And by the way, if Ken Burns is casting for any documentaries where he needs an old-timey narrator, I am available. The paper dissolves just as you finish reading the last few lines, as if it finally realized that it had been submerged all these years, turning to a useless pulp between your fingers. It's a good thing that you're a fast reader. Aha! Book smart pays off! It's unlikely you'll have the chance to return here, and the vials are too delicate to carry with you. Keep reading? Sure, why not? You open another. Miss Verena, trouble with tea. Your presence requested at once. And another. Verena, know what you tried. Do not appreciate the attempt at subterfuge. Thought we both knew what was at stake here. The boy's been dealt with. Expect me this evening for in-person discussion. Some of these letters are addressed to Miss Maeve and some to a Verena. All are signed, yes. You assume these have to be from Enoch, although apparently he either didn't send them or they got stamped return to sender because they're, back in his own office. Many seem unimportant, just listing a time and place. You assume meetings between Enoch and whoever this Verena may have been. Before you know it, the drawer is empty. The floor around you scattered with drained vials, the air stinking of wet rye. Alright, let's step away from the desk. Step away from the desk, and apparently I've seen enough. You return to the hallway outside of the parlor. Follow footsteps down the hall. You follow the path laid out in the dust. It takes you up a flight of stairs, the way down blocked by debris, and you find yourself on the 3rd floor of the estate for the first time. There are more footprints leading all the way down the hallway and into the farthest door. Ooh. Alright, let's approach the window first. You carefully approach the window at the far end of the hall. That sure is a cliff. There's nothing below the window but the tops of distant trees, the ground having crumbled away. The only thing stopping you from plummeting to your death is the straining foundation that still somehow holds this place together. At least for now. Let's move the boxes in front of the nearest door. The boxes slide out of the way with a bit of elbow grease. You push past them into the room beyond. The room is coldly empty. The large antique bed is made, its sheets ancient and dusty, but still somehow giving off the feeling of tidiness. Even with... Oh, look at that! I got an achievement for exploring Edwardine's bedroom. Even with cobwebs stretched between each corner of its 4-poster frame. As always, I'll search the desk. You step towards the desk, its drawers practically overflowing with stationery. As you sift through paper, it quickly becomes clear to you whose room this is. There are stacks of bills in Edwardine's name, filling nearly every drawer, and even once you manage to get past the layers of envelopes and trifold paper, you hit a permafrost of receipts. It seemed she was doing her best to be meticulous and hold on to any scrap of paper that might possibly be important. But when you reach the bottom drawers, you find something entirely different. Greeting cards, letters, small wrapped packages. Some open, some sealed, some crumpled into messy balls. Messy balls are tight. You open one of the cards. Both pages are taken up by a handwritten note. Let's see. I don't have any indication of who this might be, so I will, No. I'll just do a regular voice. Tabby, hope you're doing well. Not a day goes by that I don't miss you. Hope Pearl Ann treats you to your best Christmas yet. Not sure what sort of doodads you're into these days, so I sent a little something that made me think of you. I made sure they were the best shells of the bunch. Not sure how rare any of them are, but they're awful pretty. And they've still got that beach smell. And make sure you put your ear up to them too. Doesn't compare to the real thing, but it comes close enough. And in case you think that makes me a cheapskate, I made sure to send along a little cash too, so you can get yourself a little something a little nicer than glorified beach trash. Make sure you get Pearl Ann to take you to the nice toy store, because that's where I'd take you if I was there. If you get the time, I'd love to hear from you. I miss you so much, Tabby, and I'm always thinking of you. You can come out and visit me anytime. I know you've always wanted to see what it's like out east. And we're in North Carolina. That's pretty far east. I've made sure to write out my address on the back of this card, just in case you didn't know how to get a hold of me. Been missing you, my incredible, wonderful, amazing daughter.
All my love, Dad. Oh, it's Tabby's dad! Oh, that's nice. Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Hold on, let's see. Do I have dialogue here? Just want to make sure. Yep, Tabby. Okay, that does confirm it. I thought it was a lot older, but nope. That is indeed Tabitha's dad. Awesome. You pull out another from closer to the top of the pile. Happy birthday, Tabby. It's me again, your old dad. So, the big 2-0. Can't believe my daughter is such an adult. Yeah, wait until you're starting to near 3-0. Sucks. In my mind, you're still that bouncy little kid doing cartwheels on the front lawn, telling me what various sounds animals make, like you're the professor of animal noises. I have no idea if you read these, but I'll keep writing them, even if sometimes it feels like I'm writing them to a ghost. I mean, we haven't spoken in almost 15 years. You're a whole human being now, and I have no idea what you're like, as opposed to when you were a kid and presumably half robot. I like to think we'd get along, though. As always, my address is on the back. I hope you'll decide to come visit me one of these days. I've got a guest room all set up just in case. It's always ready for you, kid. I love you, and I always will, no matter who you turned out to be. Love, Dad. There are years and years of these. The bottom drawer is almost entirely unopened envelopes, dated from when Tabitha would have been just a kid, all from him. You pocket a few of the cards. Yeah, let's search the closet. We're here, might as well. I'm an exploratory person. You make your way to the closet. It seems Edwardine kept things nice and orderly, or neat and orderly, or as neat and orderly as she could, considering the decaying state of the place. You can't help but notice that these dresses look strikingly like the style Tabitha wears. You can imagine Pearl Ann sifting through Edwardine's old trunks of clothes, recycling moth-eaten vintage dresses for her daughter in place of buying anything new. The only thing here besides her clothes and shoes is a box shoved off to one side. You pick it up. Child-sized overalls, striped shirts, a small pair of trousers with suspenders still attached. One of those little sailor suits boys from the 50s were always wearing. When you pull out the last shirt, a note is revealed, tucked away in the bottom of the box in a protective plastic sleeve. It's scrawled in almost illegible handwriting, written in some thick, brown, watery ink that's cracked with age. Mommy, I'm in here too, and I love you. Your hands tremble, the note somehow making the tips of your fingers feel dirty, even as it sits behind a layer of plastic. You drop it back into the box, once again covering it with the clothes, shoving it back into the recesses of this forgotten closet where it belongs. Apparently I am now done here. Let's return to the hallway. Finished with the tucked away room, you return to the hallway, and I'm going to, I guess, enter the middle room now. This space was clearly once a nursery, though no child has been in here for a long, long time. What, no achievement for exploring this one? Fine. Let's check the bookshelf. The top shelf is occupied by antique picture books, Dick and Jane, books of nursery rhymes, ancient editions of grim fairy tales. The lower shelves are full of educational material, from children's encyclopedias to writing practice workbooks. From the sheer number of learning-oriented books on the shelf, not leaning-oriented, you get the impression that the children who lived here were not supposed to be as interested in fun and fiction as they were in diction and spelling. Your family may have been wealthy, but maybe not enjoy the guy who, just like 15 minutes ago, nitpicked the spelling of the word whoa said. Let's read a few writing practice books. You leaf through a few of the practice workbooks, gently turning the near-crumbling pages. Reasons Mommy should take me and Maribel to the zoo. 1. We have been very good girls and have not cried for a whole week. And that is whole without a W, as opposed to whole with a W, which from what I understand is a type of milk. 2. Maribel says elephants are so big and I would leak to see one. 3. I think it would be very fun and Mommy would have a good time. I know it's very, this is a very child-style way of writing, and I'm sure my, child writings were very similar. But I am looking at some of these words, and I'm just like, this feels like something that the Chick-fil-A cow would have written in one of the advertisements. All are signed with the carefully scrawled signature of Alexandra Scarlet. You flip through the rest of the book, your eyes unfocused, as the many practice sentences and letter-copying pages flash by. But something near the back of the book gives you pause. In a section that starts with the prompt, Today Alexandra continues with, Talked to the boy in the wall. This last prompt lingers with you. If all of these practice books are the same, you wonder what else you'll manage to find under Today Apparently I needed to be book smart to realize that, so yay. You grabbed the next copy, opening it to the first practice writing page. Today I told the boy in the wall about my family. Then the boy in the wall said he is happy he has a kid to talk to. I am also glad because Mary Bell is mean sometimes and tells me what to do. He is really nice, and I hope he can come out of the wall to play with us soon. Today I told the boy in the wall that I am sad. He was really nice and told me how he knows how to make Mommy be nicer to me. He said Mommy tucks him in every night and reads him stories and is never mean. And that if I was in the wall, Mommy would also be nice to me. Uh-oh. He said there can only be one kid in the wall, so he will have to switch places with me. But Mommy will be nice to me, so it is okay. Oh, great. So it is like fully... What is it? It's not like a changeling type deal. I guess it kind of is a changeling type deal. But more in the story style of like the Angelina Jolie changeling than it was the classic European fairy tale. Today I ate dinner with Mommy. She said she made me special dinner and she sat with me the whole time and I was a good girl and ate it all. Mommy is proud of me. It was a good day and I am happy. The rest of the book is blank. Guess I'm done here too. And now there's one place to go. Into the farthest room. You continue following the trail of footprints, approaching the farthest room down the hall. The door was clearly meant to be hidden, but it's been left open. Guess you should have hidden those footprints then. The room is starkly empty, save for a rug and a few candelabras. The lack of dusty old boxes and rotting antiques mark it as distinct from the rest of the cluttered, forgotten spaces you've explored. I'll continue. I'm expecting to find Tabitha's body under one of these blankets or something horrifying. You continue forward towards the door on the far side of the room. You exit into a short hallway. There are stairs here leading back down to the lower floors. But there's also another door. It's hanging ajar, the many locks and deadbolts along its edge glimmering in the weak morning light. The doorframe itself is gouged and splintered, evidence that some desperate creature tried to save itself from the room beyond, time and time again. I will enter. You step forward. This was a prison cell. Everything about this place reeks of neglected humanity. The walls are covered in scratches, legible words mixed in with the nonsense of desperate clawing. What does that say? It's like, wow. I might be making words up. The one window set high in the far wall is fitted with a thick pane of glass, as if the iron bars just beyond it wouldn't be enough to hold the imprisoned. Okay, this breathing is really unnerving me here. And you know, like, it is always difficult when there's a house that has, like, a full dungeon. You can't help but notice that the doll from your closet sits watching you from under the bed, one eyelid drooping. It adds an extra layer of menace to the already deeply unsettling room. Property of Alexandra. Your eyes are drawn to the massive almost letters, dug as deep into the brick as this cell's prisoner could manage, highlighted with whatever pigments were available. And then one final detail grabs, a metallic glint from the filthy bare mattress. A doorknob! I wonder what that could be for. This is what you've been looking for. Was it left here for you? I'll take the handle, I guess. As you take it, sound wraps around you. Music. The tinkling of piano keys, played by a clumsy hand. They echo up a narrow staircase at the end of the hall. Oh my god, this is just unsettling. Oh my god, okay. For the first time, I'm getting nervous, so I'm going to save here. And following the music. You've come this far, clearly, you're meant to go just a little further. Hopefully I do not die. The stairs take you into what you have to assume was once the servants' quarters, a network of cramped passageways hidden away from the expansive rooms of the estate without so much as a window for illumination. But you persist and descend deeper into the bowels of the Scarlet estate, the echoing piano your own accompanying. Soon enough, you see light again, the sun creeping in through the edges of a nearly hidden door. You're at the end of another long corridor. Its high ceilings and tall windows are almost disorienting as you step out from the cramped, gloomy stairwell. The music echoes mournfully in the vast space, a chorus of wind adding a melancholic harmony as it whips in from the overgrown courtyard outside. You've found your way to the first floor, but you've yet to confront your guide. Alright, let's confront the piano player, I guess. The musician plays on as you move. Oh, it's gonna be, what's his name? I'm already forgetting his name, but the guy that is trying to save us from everything, isn't it? The musician plays on as you move cautiously through the dark. The slope now dramatic, it feels like walking downhill. Jagged remains of the floorboards jutting out like splintered trees. Yep, there he is. Wayne, that's his name. The flow of notes finally stops as you reach an open doorway to what was once a music room. Wayne stands from the bench of a battered grand piano, turning to face you. So, now you've seen it, Snow and Rudy. Oh, wow. Okay, I got another achievement. So even if he kills me, I got an achievement, so it's really worth it. He makes his way down the tilted floor towards you. A breeze passes by him, carrying with it the smell from the wound that is his body. I hope you enjoyed the show. He stops just a few paces away. And I trust you understand the implications of everything you've seen. If you aren't careful and you put your faith in the wrong people, things could go very, very wrong for you. Well, let's talk to him. Oh my gosh, there's so much to talk to. Isn't this all a little theatrical? There were things you needed to see, and I doubt you would have been interested in a private guided tour. Not when I would have been the one giving it. Yeah, that's probably fair. And once I'd helped you to find what you needed to find, I wanted you to choose to come to me, to know you were truly open to a conversation. Alright. I do trust you. Tell me whatever you want me to know. Do you want to be somebody else's puppet, Snow? I feel like I'm going to be regardless. I can guide you to where you need to be, but it's up to you to open your eyes. The witch holds some of the final pieces. Find her, pry them from her hands, and then everything should start falling into place. That's the old lady, isn't it? You have no idea who we could be talking about, unless you're already starting to forget about her. Memory is a disloyal thing, isn't it? Physical, easily manipulated. But something being missing from your head doesn't mean it's gone from you. What are you talking about? You'll remember it too. I was with the doll. She liked it. I liked it too. It was nice to see it again after so many years. Alright, so he must have been the one to carry it. That makes sense, because I saw him and I passed out, right? So he must have been the one to carry me off in my sleep. A moment of weakness. I was patient. You don't strike me as impatient. The days grow short. Take it as a sign you should be feeling the same urgency. Right? Who lived in that last room? Wayne cocks his head almost playfully. I did. I'd been in that room a long, long time. Though my being free now is meaningless in the grand scheme of things. The town itself is enough of a prison. I might as well still be stuck behind that door. But at least I'm free enough to win. Does Tabitha know about all this? Of course. Why do you think she invited you? Oh, interesting. So according to Wayne, Tabitha's got a little bit of malice to her, which honestly, trying to request the union rep kind of makes sense. Ooh! She didn't know me then, it's different how we bonded. That absolute bitch! I feel like let him tell me how naive I am is probably the best call, right? I love her. She wouldn't. Are you sure she loves you? Or do you just wish she did? I've given you a glimpse into one of your possible futures. You can choose to believe that Tabitha will shrug the generations of duty and expectations that have fallen on her shoulders, all because of some deep familial love. But do you really think she will? Do you want to bet your freedom on it? Tabitha will always be a Scarlet. flirt. Let's see. What do you mean the town is a prison?
I can't leave. No one really can. As it stands now, Scarlet Hollow doesn't want to let go of these prisoners. They may be able to cross the town line, but not without paying a price. That can be changed, though. It wasn't always this way, and it was never meant to be. We can put an end to it.
Alright. We should call someone about this. The police or the National Guard or somebody.
Trust me when I say they wouldn't be able to help. The force is at work in Scarlet Hollow run deep. There is no one person they can arrest. No group of people they can blame and do away with. It is beyond the realm of flesh. But I know how to fix everything. I know how to keep you safe for as long as you live.
Alright. I'm gonna save this first of all, because I don't know if I want flirting with him to be my canon option, but I want to see what happens.
You take a step forward.
Wayne doesn't flinch as you approach, but you can sense trepidation. He seems uncertain of what you're about to do. Place your hand on his chest. What are you?
I'm yours, little hot.
He's flirting too! Come on. What do you want from me? You can be honest. He hesitates, his bright eyes staring deep into yours, unblinking.
If you're sure you're ready to know.
He's gonna be like a skeleton, isn't it? Wayne takes a step forward, closing one little gap between you. Between you, yes. The unsteady floor causes you to stumble back against the wall. Wayne looming over you, his outstretched arm blocking you from escape. There's only him and you, locked in a near embrace.
I can show you. Give you a taste of what we could be and what I can offer you.
He's breathing more heavily now. Slight but noticeable. He's excited, but trying not to show it.
If you're ready.
Do it. Wayne stares down at you, his bright eyes shining through the veil that flutters slightly with each breath. His other arm reaches up towards your throat and he just kills me there. He rests his palm on the nape of your neck. It's warmer than you'd have expected, calloused and cracked, but still as strong as they tighten around you. There's a sudden sharp pain, as if you've been struck with a pin, and the unsettling feeling of something squirming. You can't help but try to jerk away from him, as the squirming slithers its way up your throat. His fingers grip tighter, holding you firmly in place. Then it stops, and a pleasant numbness starts to spread out from the base of your skull, flowing down your spine, enveloping you in a wave of bone-deep serenity. Your surroundings become unfocused, vision swimming as your head lost to the side, hair standing on end in a full-body shiver as an intense pleasure sweeps across your skin. You're vaguely aware that your legs are collapsed out from under you. Wayne holds you up, one of his arms curling around your waist, pressing you against him as you lose yourself in a sensation. Then, it's over. Share a moment of bliss with your guardian angel. I got an achievement for it! Yay! And the achievement confirms he is my guardian angel. It could be lying to me, but I'm fine teaming up with him. He lets you go. You slump to the floor as he takes a shaky step back, adjusting his sleeve.
Think of that as a kiss.
He has to catch his breath as he speaks. Before you have the chance to respond, he's gone, slipping back into the shadows. Okay, that was a little bit unnerving. I don't know how much you could hear of the music, but that was, wild. You make your way back to where you woke up and slot in the handle into the secret door on the wall, and now we can get into our room again. It twists and the door pulls back, and you stumble through your closet and back into your bedroom. You lean against the doorframe as the last dregs of the intoxicating kiss leave your system, returning you to some semblance of normalcy, I forget what the word was. The estate has gotten to you. After the events of it this morning, your body burns with a ferocious itch to leave this place behind, to be anywhere but here. You leave in a haze, mindlessly grabbing clothes and an uncharged phone, barely even noticing your surroundings as you rush outside, the morning's revelation seizing your body and mind alike with a suffocating dread. Even the lingering afterglow of your entanglement with Wayne can't feel the sinking pit dug into your stomach by the suggestion that Tabitha has not only known about all of this, but that she is in some way a willing participant in the crime. And she was on trial with me. Not only that, but she has designs for you. Of course she does. She hates you. She threatened you just yesterday, which honestly makes... It feels like if she threatened me, she would not be giving away her designs that easily. I still feel like I trust her. It must be true. You've had a glimpse of the brilliant colors of Wayne's soul. Something that beautiful, that expansive, couldn't lie to you. It wouldn't lie to you. I don't know. It might lie to me. I feel like I trust him, but I also don't know about Tabitha. Because I feel like if, you know, somebody came up to you and was like, I am going to kill you if you don't do exactly what I say. That would probably not be the best thing to tell somebody that you have ulterior motives for. But Tabitha can't be trusted, apparently. Nobody who has the things you just saw hidden away in the locked room of their house can be trusted. What are you going to do about it? I'm getting the hell out of this place even if I need to walk. I'm going to someone I can trust. That's right. If you just manage to throw yourself into the arms of someone you can actually trust, maybe they can help you. Maybe you don't have to deal with this alone. I don't know. This feels very like narrator of Baldur's Gate 3-esque. You feel a strong sensation grasping your body and you think something that you probably shouldn't be thinking. Can you trust anyone? Oh, I don't want to put people in danger. But I trust Stella. You can trust Stella. We've been in this together since day one. The two of you have been in this mess together since the very first day you arrived in town. There's no one else you can trust more than her. Of course, that may have been by her design. But you know, as much as I was flirting with Wayne for the lulz, I did want to flirt. I do like flirting with Stella just because I like Stella. So I'm sticking with it. Let's run to Stella. You make your way over to Stella's house, desperately praying that she'll be home. She's been in this with you practically since the moment you arrived in town. She'll know what to do. She has to know what to do. You knock on her door, but you hear neither the shuffling nor of human footsteps nor the excitement of an eager geriatric pug. You wait for what feels like an eternity for an answer that never comes. Wherever Stella is, she isn't here. But where could you possibly turn to next? Oh no. Oh god. I'm gonna confront Tabitha. I'm going to save here. But let me get the bomb. But I don't know. Wayne said Tabitha couldn't be trusted. The narrator is trying to make me think Tabitha can't be trusted. I feel like she can be trusted at least more than they're letting on. The events of this morning beg for an immediate confrontation. By the time you notice where your legs are taking you, you're already en route to the Scarlet Mines. You stumble down the road, your panicked thoughts directing themselves like a pointed arrow towards your destination. Things will make sense again just as soon as you get where you're going. There are no picketers outside the mine today. The only sound is the constant low industrial clanking of unending productivity. The only sign of life, the slow-moving machinery beyond the rickety chain-link fence. Scarlet Hollow mines are ticking along as they always have. There's nothing here to stop you from seeing your cousin. Here you are, outside of your cousin's office. The only thing left is to go inside. Let's knock first. You walk up to Tabitha's trailer and knock on the door. You wait for a moment. What is it now? Come in. Ah, there she is! You enter your cousin's office to find her seated at her desk, shotgun in hand, cleaning its mechanisms with focused intent. But your cousin isn't the only person in her office today. Stella's here too. I wonder if that would have changed based on the other people I could have gone to see. Like if I'd gone to like a Dr. Kelly or a Sybil or anyone like that. Wow, hey, it's Snowy Nerdy. Hello, you're here. Yes, Stella, my cousin is here to bother me at work. It's not exactly a surprise. Don't be weird. What a happy turn of events! These two have been talking about you all morning, and for a lot of last night. Stella darts across the room, turning the lock on the office door and slamming the bolt shut. Stella, what the hell are you doing? Based on the look of her eyes, she might be thinking three-way here. I don't know. Oh my gosh. I'm doing the plan. The plan that we talked about. The plan. Stella, Jesus Christ, it's too early for this. I told you I had everything sorted out. There was a timeline. Come on, Tabitha. Your version of having things sorted out was so convoluted. You gotta learn to seize the moment. And in this moment, Snowy Nerdy's right here, alone. And you said we needed Snowy Nerdy alone. So this is perfect. We're just gonna have a talk, okay? So go ahead and sit down and we can sort everything out. That's how it always starts, with just a talk. Yeah. Stella, do you realize how scary you're being right now? Scary? But I'm not. I'm just Stella. You know me. I guess I get how locking the door can make you uncomfortable, but it's really not about making sure nobody comes in. It's not like I'm cornering you. Though I also do want you to stay and hear us out, because we're all friends here, and friends talk things out. Right, Tabby? God damn it, we're really doing this, okay? Aren't we? Okay, sit down. Alright, I'll sit. It's hard to ignore the weakness of your current position. Not only are you outnumbered, you're outgunned. And clearly they both know something you don't. I mean, I trust Stella. I may not fully trust Tabitha, but I trust her probably more than Wayne said that I should. And I definitely trust Gretchen. So if Gretchen says I should do this, then I'm gonna follow Gretchen's advice. You sit, even if you don't grace your host with a verbal acknowledgement. Behind you, Stella drags another chair towards the door, propping it under the handle. Sorry, just making extra sure we don't get interrupted. Tabby, do you wanna... Trying to talk to Snowy Nerdy was your idea, Stella, not mine. You take the lead. Okay, so, not so easy, is it? That's how I felt last night, too. Yeah, where do I even start? Okay, magic is real, that's obvious at this point. Even if you could write off the ditchlings as weird creatures or hallucinations or whatever, Charlie isn't exactly something you can explain as anything but magic, so there's no debate there, right, Tabby? Yeah. And I'm sure you've noticed, Snowy Nerdy, that your family is connected to all this? That's no coincidence, it was after the collapse. Enoch. The town was going to fall apart, so we made a deal. He saved Scarlet Hollow! But deals usually come at a cost, right? So we had to trade something for the town's salvation. Though the price was only paid by Scarlets. It's always been paid by Scarlets. A Scarlet is locked away from the world, bound to the estate by magic, and in return the town itself prospers. There isn't a Scarlet locked away anymore, which is why everything has started falling apart. The deal is broken. Well, temporarily broken, and there's only so much time left to fix it. Oh, is that why Tabitha wanted me here initially, so I can be a Scarlet to lock up? That's where you come in. You're a Scarlet. You have the power to save the town if you're willing to use it. And I don't see why you wouldn't. If I could do it instead and save the whole town, you know I would. Especially since that would mean spending the rest of my life with Tabby. I can imagine way worse fates. I mean, really what we're offering is free room and board for life. We'll make it nice for you, spruce up the place, and I'd cook for you, of course, like your own personal chef. And we can play games and let you watch movies and keep up with the news. It doesn't have to be such a bad thing. It sounds an awful lot like my life, and I love my life. Stella's always looking out for me, feeding me lovely things, and making sure I have nice soft beds to sleep on. You could even still stream. We'd have to watch to make sure you don't accidentally spill the beans about the whole situation, but still, it's not like being here would be any worse than YouTube. So what do you say? Ooh. Yeah, I am not... There's so many options here. Because I feel like doing that would, like, end the game or, like, stop the mystery from continuing. What is the... I've seen the room where our family kept those other Scarlets. Not exactly a luxury suite. That's where I come in. You can do a lot with a small space these days. You know tiny living? It's a trend right now. See? It's trendy. We're going to do better than Tabitha's older relatives ever could. This isn't some divine punishment. We care about you. We want you to be happy. We can get you a plant. I've heard those are nice for air quality and morale. Because we're nice. We care about that stuff. And maybe we can move you to a bigger room eventually, once we've done some work on the place. But we can only do work on it if it stays standing. And it only stays standing if, you know, you do this. What does the witch have to do with all this? Wayne told me to find the witch. A witch? I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Since magic is real, I guess witches must be too. Doesn't matter if witches and wizards are real, or if they go to some magic high school with centaurs or whatever. None of that is relevant to us, and more importantly, you should not trust a word that comes out of that thing's mouth. I feel like it goes without saying. The rotten thing stalking you is not the most trustworthy source of information. I mean, we could go looking anyway, just in case. Stella, this is not the stuff from your YouTubes. This is real life, and we have a job to do. No more looking for clues. I have all the clues you could want. I don't want to, so is there another way? Stella, this is pointless. Damn. Since we're all being honest here, I'll go ahead and let you know I've took the line to the police. There's a button here behind the desk. I think we're done talking, so let's sit here in polite silence for a bit. I'm sure it won't take long for them to get here. It's not like they have much going on. I'm wondering here, should I have explored a little bit more? Let's see here. What setting did I do? I'm wondering if I should reload and try a few more exploratory options here. Yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and reset. I want to just try to explore a few more options first. So let's go ahead and load, and then I will basically recreate everything that I've done up until that last dialogue option. Let's just open the door. Stella's here too. Alright, yep. Happy turn of events. Okay, yeah, awesome. Okay. So yeah, I chose that option. Alright, I said sit, so I will choose that option. Okay. Magic is real. It's always paid by a Scarlet. Free room and board. Okay, so what did I say? Not exactly a luxury suite, so I chose that option. Why? And then I said, what does the witch have to do with this? So I said that. Don't trust the thing coming out of that thing's mouth. This doesn't add up. How does Wayne fit in all of this? Don't ask me about him, please. Tabitha, it's okay. You can say more. We're being honest now, remember? That's how we build trust. Tabitha sits in stubborn silence for a long moment, squirming under Stella's thoughtful gaze. Doesn't fit into this. It's just a mistake. Not my mistake, and one that never should have happened. No, won't happen again. And don't keep needling me about it, asking what shouldn't have happened, Tabitha. Why is he all gross? Is he dead? Is he alive? Just stop bringing him up. I know we're supposed to be all open and chatty or whatever, but it's painful for me. I like them. It's okay, you have me now. And that's better. Even if everything else is worse. That's better. Alright, what if I say no? Do you just let me walk out? I don't think you should say no. Not because we'll do anything, that's not a threat, just because I don't think there are really any other options for you. Yeah, if you try to leave town, you're not gonna get far. Trust me. Again, not a threat, just reality. Either you do it and the town recovers, or you don't. The town keeps getting worse, all while we're stuck here. It's not like there are good options here. Alright, Tabitha, why can't you volunteer? And I figured she would say something about the mines. The deal doesn't mean the mines run themselves, Snowy Darty. That's how it works. One Scarlet to run the mines, and one to shoulder the other burden. Neither of us is getting out of this with all our freedom intact. Know that. Alright. I'm going to take all the exploratory options, and then I will probably do the same dialogue, police, or coming option that I did before. You're better than this, Stella. You know this is wrong. You can tell she sugar-coated it for you. You really think she's stupid, don't you? She's not stupid. I know this because I know her. There's a reason she's been successful in life, and it's not dumb luck. It's determination. And the ability to change and adapt to what needs to be done in order to keep succeeding. That's what she's doing now. She knows I've been honest with her, and this is what needs to be done. Isn't that right? Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. I know this must feel like such a horrible thing to ask of you, but I care so much about this town. Everyone I know here is here my whole life. I'm sure if someone asked this of you to protect your city, including everyone in it, you'd see why I feel this way. Alright, and last explore option. What happens if we just don't go through things, leave town? We can't do that! The speed of Stella's response is almost alarming. We can't. If we give up, the town is ruined. Done. Yeah. Yep. Goodbye, Scarlet Mines. Goodbye, Scarlet Hollow. No jobs means no one can stay. Not unless they're willing to live off the land like some kind of freakish hill people. But even ignoring that, no one can leave. My parents, that's why they died. That's why Vivian went out the way she did. It's why everyone who leaves town is met with ruin until they eventually drag themselves back destitute with their mistakes trailing after them, if they ever make it out in the first place. But if we make the town a nicer place to be, if we bring it back, people won't have to leave. Okay. So, yeah, I'm not going to do this. So it's going to create another dialogue option, and I will save that there. And continue. Is there another way? And she's going to talk about her line to the police. You absolute bitch. Tabitha, ooh. So, I want to bring these letters up. I don't know if they're going to help, but I feel like the kind of exploration or whatever that I did should come in handy at some point. Tabitha, whatever is about to happen, I need you to know this. I found these in a drawer. Letters from your dad. They were being hidden from you. What? You lay the cards in front of her. Stella leans forward, peeking over her shoulder as she reads the handwritten notes next to the kitschy pictures of cats and birthday cake. I thought you said he was a deadbeat. He is a deadbeat. This doesn't change anything. So what, he sends me some stupid birthday card every year? He's still gone. I was still alone in that house all those years with her. What exactly were you hoping to achieve with this snowy nerdy? What, were you hoping I'd abandon everything my family has built, rush out to the coast to find some relative I haven't known since I was 5? I don't care about this man who never once came to rescue me, even though he knew exactly what I was living through. Tabby. Silence falls over the room. Tabitha's breathing hard, trying to pull herself back together. Hey, it's okay. How about we send him something after all this is done, okay? Maybe it's worth getting in touch. I can't think about this right now. I have bigger problems, but at least one of those problems is about to be dealt with. A knock at the door interrupts the unpleasant conversation. Miss Scarlet, permission to enter? Stella, the door. Right, sorry. As Stella carefully, quietly removes the chair from in front of the door, Tabitha motions for you to stand. Okay. So not the old guy. So I'll change my voice. Is that the mayor's goon? Tabitha's beck and call? But that would mean he's at our beck and call. Well, if it isn't Snowy Nerdy. I assume your cousin's been a problem, and that's why you called me up here. Isn't that right, Miss Scarlet? Exactly, officer. Big problem. Seems Snowy Nerdy's been making a habit of that lately. To the point where I was already out looking for you. I'll be taking you in for questioning. I'm still investigating the death of Duke Calloway, and your cousin is the prime suspect. Ooh. No, you got this all wrong. They're gonna lock me into the estate. You gotta help me. That feels like it's gonna be taken as hysterical. Swing by the estate. Oh. I don't know. I'm gonna say this thing about swing by the estate. I want to see how people react. There's some things you should see. You are not the owner of that property, therefore you can't give me permission to enter without a warrant. And as owner of said property, I don't give you permission. There you have it.
And I'm not the kind of man to go breaking into people's houses, so how about we skip the detour and just take you straight to the station? Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law? Deputy Franklin whips out a pair of handcuffs, tightening them quickly around your wrists in a smooth police academy maneuver. Sorry, Snowy Nerdy, but this is for the best, okay? We'll make sure to come get you before the funeral. But just as the cuffs click into place, the officer's radio crackles to life. Franklin, pick up already. We ain't got all day, boy. Sheriff, apologies, sir. I was just up seeing to a situation at the mines. Miss Scarlet tipped the you-know-what. It's all resolved, though. Now I have Snowy Nerdy in custody. That's nice and all, but we need you up at the farms pronto. Got herself a possible 187 brewing. So, he will probably take me with him to the farms, and then that'll be me going to that location like I said I was going to go to. And that'll be the last place in town. 10-4. Wait, a 187? That's a murder. Ma'am, we've been over this before. Please stop listening in on police frequencies. To be fair, you were in the room listening to it. She's just there. Alright, kid, I don't think I've got the time to take you to the station, so you'll just have to cool off in the back of the squad car. Wait, no, you've got to be kidding me. You're going to take my cousin with you to an active crime scene? That's not why I called you. You can't put my cousin in danger, do you hear me? Franklin, quit pussyfooting around there ASAP. We need... pussyfooting around up there. We need you out here ASAP. 10-4, Sheriff. Afraid I have to, ma'am. Snowy Nerdy is the threat to the safety of this town. It's my duty to make sure that threat is contained. Then I'm coming too. And I'll be taking my own car so you can't stop me. I highly advise you don't do that, ma'am. Your advice has been taken into consideration? There, I considered it, and I'm going. I don't trust this. Stella, stay here and man the fort or something. Or go home, whatever. Call you later when everything's settled. Do you think it could be... Is it the pumpkin guy? Toxic... Oh, Toxic Yuri. Oh my god. Just get in the hole. Oh, I did not think that would be a kind of achievement name. Alright. Their voices go quiet as Deputy Franklin drags you out of the office and out towards the squad car. You're deposited in the back seat, the door slamming harshly behind you. The issue with the mine's been resolved, Sheriff. I'm en route. Franklin starts up the sirens. They blare as he pulls out of the mine, speeding down the road towards whatever emergency is underway with you in tow. This is possibly one of the few times he's ever been able to do this, and despite his sunglasses and stiff demeanor, there's definitely an excitement in the way he cruises around the treacherous mountain turns. This is the end of part 1 of episode 5. Part 2, the chapter's finale, will be releasing next Friday, February 20th. Wow, okay, so I will go ahead and save that right here. I will make a note there. Wow, okay, is it gonna say anything else? We would like to continue with this world state, save the game. I did that. Okay, so before I sign off, I wonder if there were other... So I went directly to Tabitha's and just happened to be like accosted or whatever. So this is going to be my canon playthrough because I committed to it. This is what I did on tape, or on video, or however you want to put it. I may decide to go back and just see like what happens when you go to like all of these other places and such. Because there were like 4 or 5 different people that they said you could trust. There was an option to like find the witch or like trust Wayne or whatever, and I did not expect that I would just be, apprehended and taken in by the cops. So my guess is there's a little bit of content that I've missed out on, and I don't like missing out on content, generally speaking. So I will probably play through some of that. Hell, I might even make it like a side quest or like an alternate video of some kind. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It may just be for my benefit. Leave you something to kind of play along with. Because I do fully recommend. There's so many dialogue options and so many things to explore. Like, if you're watching mine, you're only getting kind of how I'm playing through it, but there's just so many other things you can do. But
But do that after I'm done taping and you're done watching mine, because that is what's important on YouTube. Anyway, so like it said, it'll be out February 20th, which is tomorrow in my current time, but it should hopefully be out at, the day I release this video onto YouTube. So I will probably do the second half of episode 5, release it a week from now. I don't know when episode 6 is scheduled to come out. I think I heard there might be a new Life is Strange game coming out as well. I know I like that one, and I did that one on tape, so I might do a very similar thing where I just play through that new game on tape as well. If there's anything else you're interested in seeing me play, let me know. Like I said, I am kind of like on and off, like I don't even have like an actual background earlier. So I'm just kind of going as I get new content or something that I want to make a video based off of. But as always, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will release more stuff hopefully relatively soon. Oh, and if you want, speaking of completionism, I do think I still have recorded my complete 100% of the ending of Kindergarten 3, and I don't think I ever released that onto YouTube. I think I might have some editing to do on that one, which is why I've never actually gotten around to releasing it. But if that's something that you want to see, let me know in the comments as well. Until then, make sure to keep an eye out. Like I said, I'll be releasing part 2 of this episode very soon. And until then, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure that you are watching out for more videos I might or might not be releasing. So like, comment, subscribe. Make sure that you are staying involved, staying engaged, most importantly, staying cool. I will, I guess, see you in about a week. Bye!